Hasten fix. PNG fix. Placeholder fix. To do and learning.md. Skill.md and motion graphics fix. TSX TSX fix. What the heck? The renderer is pretty slow, right? It has a pretty slow render process, and the animations are bull BS, right? Like, uh, it's completely BS, right? Like, on the point where it says it outperforms all the frontier model, so it should have had animation like, there are frontier models, right? So the open code has to have some context about the frontier model. So it goes out there and search the keyword. It sees the transcript, right? Like, it hears Opus 4.5, right? So it is a model, right? Like, it's a kind of an AI model. So it goes out there and figure out what are the frontier models. It gets their logos. Let open code be connected to browser, and let it install the images. And so it installs the frontier model logo, and then it shows, and then it puts a bar on below them, and above there is their you know uh, logo, and all of a sudden from the middle there's a bar coming up, and the Opus 4.5 above text is written, and then it crosses all of them and outperforms, that signifies outperforms, right? I'm just giving example. That level of precision and detailed uh, prompt should be there, and open code should be able to create that level of things. If you want, I can provide you uh, and AWS key for using Sonnet 4.6. I think we have to, right? Like, it's the only option, and then then only it can have better motion graphics and so. But you understand the level of precision I'm speaking about. And it's a lot of time it lags also, right? Like where it says Opus 4.6 can imagine images also, so it does nothing, just shows the Opus 4.6 thing. So just do let me know. I could How could I give you the AWS key and so auth, so you can just guide me through. I'll put it there, and then you can most likely work on that path. It just kind of stopped at 30%, just try to figure out what's the problem. what's that AI scientist thing, right? Like AI agent which is, doing scientific research. the brain isn't looking that well, and the brain doesn't have that motion in it where as the video is getting played, as you know, it should show what live that live movements, and there is the spectrum, but that spectrum haven't been defined well, and the only one part of the brain is visible, right? So just have that thing well working, and you know all right. And there's a scroller, downside scroller, right? Like the I think so. The thing is that is it shows the brain's left hemisphere and the right hemisphere into two parts. I think it should be inside one part only, and that way it should show it out well. And just have that thing working, and then we have to reimagine the front end again. Yo, man, just trying the stream for the first time. Thanks for trying the stream. So I'm building an AI native video editor which can edit videos on your behalf, right? Like from analyzing video to, let me just show you how much progress is. Let's say we upload a video, it opens it, right? Here we have the analysis section. Here we have a actual brain, like Meta released a Tribe V2 model, which has a complete brain simulation, how how brain reacts to certain type of things, right? Like videos and certain type of content. So it does exactly that. It shows the brain, like how is the attention point drops, how like attention drops when the video gets you know played along the way, right? Like how the retention works, and like what should be improved, right? Like how is the hook, how is the retention, how is that, all that kind of stuff, and which part of brain kind of activates on certain parts of the video. And on that we have it, it gives a certain kind of improvement .md file, and that could be implemented, right? Like it gives all the information, but it should be able to take action on your behalf too, right? So it can it has features like switching the background. Let's say I switch the background this, you know if I put, let's say, a beach behind me, it won't make that sense, right? Like there would be jitters, and it will just mask me out and put a background behind me. But I'm trying to develop a certain kind of kind of feature which would be able to actually like kind of switch the background and maintain the lighting also. So for example, I if I can show you the inspiration I got, uh, just a second. Right, so this is switch X, right? It has a lot of kind of inspiration. I can show it to you. Like it's completely mimicking this feature, right? Like switch Y. Here, let's say you upload a certain kind of video. If I could show one demo, that would be fabulous. All right, so yeah, this kind of thing. You can see that this is the original one, and when you switch the thing, it gets the lights and reflection and everything really well, right? And yeah, so that kind of background improvement, and also like improving the audio quality, the visual quality of the video, and then from the and also putting the captions here, right? These kind of captions, right? These are the ones which you might have saw on the you might have seen them in the Instagram reels and so. And these these ones work really well, right? Like this Mr. Beast style and this kind of style, and right, you can understand putting the captions, and if someone doesn't like these modern captions, it can go and use these ones. These are also the ones which you might have seen, right? These kind of captions. And it has animation too. You can have any kind of animation, scale, rotation, and fade, like fade up, fading, right? This kind of thing. And you can edit the edit the words from here also. That is the caption studio. And also you can add motion graphics from here, right? If I, let's say, generate a certain kind of motion graphics, if I want certain kind of motion graphics, I can just go here and generate a certain kind of motion graphics too. Overall trying, it's like a content lab, right, where you can just throw your video, get certain feedback, and if the improvement is kind of possible. Yeah, exactly, it's pretty cool. The Yeah, exactly, I use both of them, right? Like remote, I think so. First I started with the remotion, but it didn't give that level of output. So I just added the hyperframe also. And I was thinking, to get some mixture of both of them. I would I would like to open their you know certain kind of, I would like to see both of this architecture and try to get the best out of both of them, right? And these ones are like mostly like just HTML or React components, just a little bit of animated. But I'm what I'm planning is that putting custom resources inside them, right? Like getting into After Effects and building the elements by myself, right? Like putting the overlay textures and like you can just search up on YouTube Vox Media. I would like to try to get somewhat level of that video, not in the first V1 kind of thing, but over the iterations. What are you building? Yeah, exactly. Oh, like if you use hyperframe or remotion just with the simple API or LLM, it doesn't perform that well. If you just have that coding architect on top of it, it works really well. What are you building? Let me just show this one. This one is pretty fun. I have to just improve the UI really bit, right? Like it should give the vibe of some sort of uh, like content lab kind of thing, right? Like slightly darker theme. So like you are in an actual lab. So I was looking for inspiration from the Pinterest, but didn't find much. These are just basic SaaS dashboards. Yeah. Oh, that's cool, man. So for social media marketing, that makes sense. Yeah. For that, like basic is also pretty, let's say, helpful for SEO. That's good. Is it like just for the Facebook ads and some ads? That's cool, man. Make sure to subscribe. For making videos for ads. That makes sense. Makes sense. That's good. That's great. Just play around with the tree motion things really bit, right? Like just try to understand the architecture, how it works, and try to see if there are any points where you can improve, right? Like some system prompts also. Are you a kind of a, were you or are you a video editor? Yeah, I feel the same. Oh yeah, software engineer. I was a video editor, right? So I have a certain kind of, intuition of, what kind of, motion graphic there should be, right? Like some level of, understanding. I did 1 year of video editing, and I used to edit videos, and then I found out AI, right? And ever since that, I'm pretty interested. It's like, the stack is pretty confusing, right? Like, I also don't know what things I use, like, Google Cloud also, AWS also, React component, HTML, and WAN 2.2. You know, there's something like, I think so. Also install the Sama 2 model. It's pretty, messed up, I would say. I have to, just, get things cleaned up after, some, you know, somewhat level of completion, right? Like if, uh, 2 or 3 features are completed, I'll just, clean up and just, try to put that on, product and things. So how does your stack look like? Takes a lot of time. Background removal is, I think so, mask oriented, like, getting the alpha out, right? Like first getting the white match, and then, getting the alpha, and then cutting it out. That's it. This was the first thing I was trying to build, but then I saw that SwitchX thing and made me so obsessed over it because, studios charge around, $10,000 or, some huge numbers, right? And if these things work really well, it would be, like an absolute complement over everything, right? Like the analysis, switch switch wire, background removal, improvement, motion graphics, captions. It would work really. It started again. Same man. I think it's good, like, putting everything in one. Same man, same. I was also experimenting with a lot of things. I just, saw, like, For features, I was going through Instagram and I found two or three inspirations, like, this remotion captions. One of them I saw. Yeah, same that, FFmpeg. I also use that for, cutting the video and that kind of thing. For like, it just, I think so, it just does is that, takes the video, gets some frame out, and then puts that in the LLM and looks for the feedback. That's the only purpose I use that. And TypeScript, same, I also use that. Actually, in that case, I would say just have some, knobs for the LLM to play around, right? Like let let it have the no WhisperX, I think so. I think so. I use WhisperX, and I'll be sooner using 11 Labs too because that one is much more better. It the WhisperX kind of gets anthropic as e-anthropic, like that kind of stuff. Yeah, exactly for that. So it's like just a side project of yours, right? Like, are you like currently as a software engineer at certain company or so? And also, I have a question for you, right? Like, sometimes learning labs response. Understood. Interesting. Makes sense. So, what do you think about that? Like, I'm really interested in learning from you that, what do you think about this, you know, AI first replacing the software engineers, starting with this software engineer first, right? Like, I didn't thought that because, 10 years of develop, development experience. That's cool, man. Where you used to work. And like, what do you think about, AI models replacing first, software engineers? And where do you see this going, right, in next year or maybe, coming months and so? Yeah, exactly. and the market is rewarding them for that, right? Like downsizing, right? Like I heard that, I think so, Twitter founder, his one of his company laid off around somewhat 2,000 of 4,500 developers, and the stock went up, right? And the investors are happy. Yeah, senior software engineers are, yeah, that's true, but I don't know, but I think that, what's the, like time horizon till they are needed, right? Like there would be a time to. What do you think about the Mythos model? It scores around 77 on Sweetbench Pro. If it can, find security bugs, don't you think you can go far with that also? They said that they found a security bug in the most safest browser, and a 27-year-old bug. It's crazy, man, right? Like I'm right now in my, first year of college, and true, true, they were true. Yeah, there's no turning back. It can just go up only from here. Models won't, you know, decrease. Past 6 to 7 months, yeah. Like I also, yeah, the skills things, right? And also the plugins. The Codex app is like, something I've never seen. They have so much of plugins. Yeah. Also, you can see in the plugins, they have like, Remotion and the Hyperframe too. And they work really well. You can see some YouTube videos that people shows that kind of thing. Yeah. I just said that, you haven't touched code since 6 to 7 months. I just, like, I just started kind of, I think I started around, I think so 6 month, right? I also started 6 months ago, and you know, yeah, yeah, yeah. Quantum, it's. Can you hear me? Well, hello. I think so. Hi. I actually don't like my UI that much. I don't know why. This kind of thing, and so I have to just improve a bit this thing. If, slightly, if it gets fixed, I think so. Then it's good. I built another project too, right? Like I started with the other project main, but I reached out to people on LinkedIn, but didn't find that level of response. That's why I just dropped it. Yeah. With this project, it's just, just to launch it out, right? Like get some level of, traction, right? Like maybe I have some, free API credits. So, to just utilize that to get free users, and then, yeah, subscription base. And, overall plan is that, to have a freemium version really good. Yeah, I have talked with a lot of them, like, in my Discord community, like not mine, but, the ones which I'm joined in. I just, talk to them about what they need, and, you know, what kind of, things their client needs. And then, overall, like, the previous clients I had, and then, all that kind of stuff I talked about. And the free credits are pretty simple with the uh, I think so. It gives $300 of free credit on Google Cloud when you sign up, and if you have signed up, there's a some sort of form, and in that there's a section that I how will you be using this credits, and if you say that AI project, then it gives another around somewhat $1,000 of credit. I think so, yeah. So the plan is to utilize that to get few like free users, and then try to convert them into paid ones. That's the overall plan. And this is the first project I built. It was like uh, agents for investment analysts, right? Like there's this data extraction agent, and so I had the I have completely deployed that and all that kind of stuff without coding anything. To go into the dash, reactivate the subscription. Yeah, in Google Cloud, the Firebase is, I think, so connected. Yeah, man, thanks. Where are you from, by the way? Yeah, the Tribe V2 was the biggest kind of, uh, biggest problem because, I installed that on my, PC, and it has, I think so, NVIDIA's, let me see. Yeah, it has 1660 Ti, right? So I deployed that on my local machine, and my local machine just went blank. It had that, message that you have to restart your computer, and so because it's not the model, just the model is small, but when you upload the video, when it has to encode that, then render that, it just goes blank. So I just deployed that on AWS with G6 instant, and that works really well. I think so. Right? It takes a lot of time, but it works well. From Greek. Greek, I think so, is in Europe, right? Uh, I'm from India. Yeah, man. I don't know what it is. It's such a small model, and the video encoding part takes a lot of space. Yeah, exactly. The L4 worker. Right? It doesn't specify the GPU. I think so. It just has the G6 dot X large. Yeah, I think so. It takes four VRAMs, four V CPUs. I think so. This one is still taking. Costing is the biggest problem. Yeah. For this, like this one was for absolutely for documents and so, and this one was like I just let 10 or 20 users use this for free, and I just had like $30 of bill. But for video model, it just went blank, and like it has till now used around $200, and I just started developing this around around 30 days ago. Yeah, we'll have limits. We'll potentially have maybe a watermark, maybe, but I'm not thinking about the watermark, but limits, like one video a day, one, I think so we can go with minutes, right? Like 30 minutes a month, and so, and then maybe, I think so. Watermark is kind of thing, like people remove it really easily. Like I remove myself, right? Like I render video from agent and just remove the watermark. Yeah, for free marketing, it makes sense, but people remove it very easily. And I'm gonna really invest in something like which could block that uh, users. Yeah, I mean, users can do marketing on behalf if we have the watermark, but I think so. Maybe, yeah, that exactly. It's too easy to remove. This one was like, a data extraction agent for investment analysts, and a lot of them use that, but they said that, there are better alternatives in the market, right? Like V7 Go and so I just dropped that. Go paid only, I thought that, but if it was like, a B2B kind of thing, like for, a venture capital firm or a private equity fund, that would have, worked really well. But with this kind of thing, we have to have some sort of freemium model. This one had the potential to be, paid only, but that didn't really work. I was thinking to, go one step above, and then when I thought that at that same moment, Claude dropped their co-worker, and the full, market, uh, you know, what is that called? Like, market sentiments went that way that, this is the trajectory, this is the territory for Claude. The target users are mainly starting with maybe editors, but mostly like the people who want to create content but are lazy to do so, who don't know editing and so. That's exactly, I used to really love this kind of things, right? Like the logistic apps, right? Like AI agent for logistics or for finance. I was like, finance is such a, attractive market, and the private equity, hedge funds. I was, really passionate about that. But as I saw that, these OpenAI is also into this, and then, Claude has, just made their valuation on this, made their revenue on this part only, right? So I thought, let them have this thing. And I asked a Y Combinator, a partner or so, I think so. Akash Gupta, his name is. He told me that, do what uh, you have experience in, right? And that way you might be able to, have something cool. So I just, get back to that thing. Otherwise, this one was also cool, right? It extracts, I told to extract financials from the file. It extracted that, right? And it source backs to the place from where it has extracted that thing. I had, I had, right? Like, I had, like, two users. At that time, just a month ago, I had two users, each one, at $200. But, they said that, like it was like, their company canceled uh, the company, I think so, canceled uh, yeah, rack, the Tiger Graph rack. Tiger Graph, like, it's Tiger, I think something, that's the name, I think so. It's the Graph rag, but it's Tiger Graph, I think so. Said. Yeah, exactly. Now though it's having certain problem, but it's source packs. to the exact point, right? Like this kind of chunk, and then someone can just read it here. There's a complete math. It had that Python calculator and all that kind of stuff, and someone wants to see the citation, they can just go there, and it used to take to the page, but I don't know why what's happening now. But and if you have to hide the property, get it back. If let's say don't get me the revenue, just get me the cost of revenue. It could just edit that section only. That was one agent, and there was another also. Yeah, from here you can just upload another document too. Yeah, just a second, I'll upload one of them. Where's the data room? What's the thing? Practice data. Yeah. So this is the it got the cost of revenue too. Let's add here. Let's say upload 3 more documents, right? Yeah. So here it gets the documents too, and from here I can access the PDF also, right? It gets all of them right here, and this data extraction. Really, that would really help. Anything makes just all the things complement until you put a front end on that, and it's slow also. I think so. Anything, I don't know. After then, there was not Cloud Code. I also used to use Anytime, but as soon as the Cloud Code came, and that kind of that category of AI agent came, the coding agent came, I just stopped using it. It's slow. It is interactive. It is good for non-developers, but yeah. You can reach out to me on this mail, I think. I hope you got the mail. Yeah. Yeah. There's all that make.com, anytime, the what was that? Go high level or something. I don't know, that kind of tools. Same man, same. I think so. It's on my end. It's 3 a.m. I'll also end the stream, and make sure to join in tomorrow. Also, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, man, it's really lovely to see someone like-minded, and such great. Like it's really unreal that you also are in this re-emotion and that similar kind of thing, and that's cool. I'll see you tomorrow, and keep up the good work too. And yeah, man, bye.